week's video is about someone who's trying to manifest in their specific person, but the specific person doesn't want to give them a relationship. They seem like they're just friends and now they're in no contact. It was a non-sexual relationship and they kept getting in arguments. If that sounds like you, watch this video. Welcome to Ask Loz, the video series where I answer your manifestation questions. You send them in and I'll answer them with a YouTube video the next week. So guys, this question this week is about manifesting back a specific person. Now, a lot of you are making a lot of mistakes when you're doing this, and the reason is because you haven't been listening to me. Sorry, it's just true. The amount of idiots that you've been listening to is astounding to me. The amount of people who come to me saying, I haven't manifested them. How do I manifest them? Guys, you're not manifesting them. I just need you to understand this. You're changing, and then the person reflects the change in you. That's what manifesting is. To make manifest, make known, make seen what you're already thinking. A lot of people confuse what we're even doing here. A lot of you are trying to wave a magic wand and change your specific person to like you, be with you, commit to you. No. That's not what we're fucking doing. And if you've been trying to do that, that's why you've dismally failed and why you might want to send me an Ask Loz question. Because you've been watching morons, or you've totally misunderstood what self-concept is and how you need to work on it to change your circumstances, because you caused your circumstances with your own self-concept. You guys getting me so far? If you've not watched me before, I recommend you go back to my very basic series called How to Manifest, my playlist, and watch the very first video in that where I explain what manifestation even is, because a lot of you don't even know. Okay? And a lot of this question shows me this person, even though they've done my self-concept course, I don't really know if they were listening. I don't really know if they were really listening, because the question sounds like, how do I get him to do something? And if you're sending me a question saying, how do I get him to, or how do I make this like this out here in the 3D? How do I change the situation? Then you're telling me you're not really listening. And the other thing this girl did, which has really pissed me off, is she sent me extra information. I don't need extra fucking information. And the reason is because you've already told me enough in the form. There's a very limited form. And the reason I do that is I want the succinct information. I don't want your waffling shit about the situation. And this person made up a whole lot of bullshit and said to my assistant, I'm just sending you extra information about my childhood. I thought it might help Loz. And then she completely bullshitted and sent information about the situation. It literally says in the email, the situation. I've manifested this man multiple times, blah, 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 and then a small paragraph about her childhood. I mean, all I need is the childhood stuff, guys. I don't need to know about your situation. You manifested your situation with your shitty self-concept from childhood. What the fuck do I need to know about the situation for? All it tells me is all the psycho shit you've been doing that's causing the situation to be the way it is. Well, so when I read it, all I read was her acting like a psycho and him going, get away from me. So it just told me more about the 3D shit she's doing that isn't helping her, rather than telling me why she's doing the stupid 3D shit she's doing that isn't helping her. But I know why she's doing it. I can read it from her childhood. So let me just go back. But I've got annoyed because she sent me more information and she should know better because, well, I say, don't send me any more information, okay? And I'm not getting annoyed at this girl, but I get annoyed, guys, when you send me inane shit. And is this person in the squad? Yes, she's in the squad. She should know better. The squad is my advanced coaching group, guys, my private Facebook group where I do coaching like this live with people every week. And she's also done my self-concept course, okay? So she should know better than to tell me a whole lot of stuff about the situation. There ain't nothing you can tell me about the situation that's going to help me answer this question. You manifested the situation. So guys, please, circumstances don't matter. Why are you telling me about the situation? It don't matter, okay? But I'll read the question. Are you ready? I've manifested him back many times. I want to know which self-concept I really need to work on. No, you don't, because you've asked me all about the fucking situation. So you're full of shit. But okay, we're continuing. I want to know which self-concept I really need to work on, as I want a loving, committed relationship with him. Well, then if you want to know what self-concept to work on, why the fuck did you send me an email telling me all about the goddamn situation? You think it's the situation that's the problem. Give Loz a bit more detail. I didn't get a relationship status or dates, but I got sweet texts from him before. This time he said, don't want anything sexual with you, don't want to talk to you because we don't work out well, as we argue every time we talk. Even a half-brained person knows this. Now in no contact. Well, I can tell you right now from the stuff she told me in the email exactly why he's not talking to her, okay? Because she was trying to tell him her feelings. She said here, I was trying to explain what kind of things hurt my feelings. What are you doing that for? Guys, you hurt your own feelings. They're not hurting you, you're hurting yourself. You understand that? You're getting hurt by the lens you're seeing what they're doing through. They're not hurting you, you're hurting yourself with your own lens. So there's no point telling them how they're hurting you. You're hurting your fucking self. You're seeing the world through the lens of your self-concept lens over your eyeballs. Then you see what they're doing as hurting you. You're reading it that way. So there's no point telling them what they're doing wrong. The only person doing anything wrong is the person thinking wrong, and that's you. So the reason why he's acting the way he is because you're trying to tell him what to do or trying to tell him how to fix the situation when all you need to do is fix yourself. So why are you telling him how he's hurting your feelings? The reason why he's rejecting you and hurting your feelings is because of your self-concept that you're projecting out. You're reflecting out to him, and all he can do is reflect back your feelings about yourself. You're not going to love me. You're going to reject me. I'm not enough as I am. He can't do anything but that. So of course he's going to hurt your feelings because you've got a dominant story. You're going to get hurt and you're going to be rejected. So what's the point in telling him? Guys, I need you to get this. There's no point telling them how they're hurting you. You're hurting yourself. I'll say it again. There's no point telling them how they're hurting you. You're doing that to yourself with your own lens of your own eyeballs, and that's your self-concept. So if you have a self-concept that you're going to be hurt, they'll hurt you, won't they? If you've got a dominant assumption that they're not going to choose you because you feel like you're going to be rejected, they'll reject you. So what is the point of telling them off for doing the thing that you've reflected to them and they've reflected back? It's like yelling at your mirror for not liking your face this morning. Now, why would she choose to take these actions to tell him what he's doing wrong? Why would she get in arguments all the time? Let's find out about her childhood. My parents argued all the time. Oh, argue. So this is still happening. Oh, when I was growing up. Even over tiny, stupid things. Well, I don't know. Were you telling him how he hurt you over tiny, stupid things? Sounds like the same situation, different person. Being criticised a lot when I was young by my sisters and strangers. Okay, so that's a lot of, I get criticised, I'm not enough as I am, something wrong with me thinking. I'm the middle child. My parents aren't affectionate, but it's easier for me to give hugs and kisses to my mum as I used to be close to her, but not my dad. Well, it doesn't sound like you get hugs and kisses from this guy either. It sounds like you get sexting. Sounds like you get non-relationship. Sounds like you get what you don't want. So do you not get what you want from your parents? Do you not get the love and affection from your parents that you want? Well, you're not going to get it from him either. Because your dominant story when you're a child, darling, unfortunately, if you don't get enough affection from your parents, you won't get it from your adults in your adulthood either, especially in relationships. Because your body and your mind understands, well, this is what love is like. You just don't get the hugs, the affection, or the kisses. You just don't get. So you won't get it when you're an adult, or you'll really crave it, and then you'll tell them what you want, but they still won't give it to you because your dominant story is, this isn't what love is. Love is cold. Love is arguing. Love is non-affection. And that's what you're getting. So there's no point telling him off for doing that. You're thinking that. You understand? I really want to work on myself and figure out what thoughts are running through my subconscious so I could radically transform myself. Well, good. Go back and watch the self-concept course again for a start, because you really weren't listening to me, because you're telling me all about the situation, darling, and the situation's just been caused by you. And if your fears were very high, fear 4, then you've really got to dominantly work on feeling like you're going to be rejected. And that's all this guy is doing. He's simply rejecting you because you've got a dominant story that you're not enough as you are. If you're criticized as a kid, if you weren't told you were good enough, if you're compared to other kids or, kids in your family or cousins or whatever, or your parents always pushed you to have a certain accomplishment, and if you didn't, you weren't enough, then you're going to always not feel enough. Then you're going to go into relationships feeling not enough. They're going to reflect that back to you that you're not enough. Then you're going to tell them how you feel. Then you're going to get in arguments because arguing is familiar to you. And let me give you the tip. I had parents who argued, and I used to get in arguments all the time in relationships. And I remember having a boyfriend who once said to me, Loz, it's not meant to be this hard. And I remember having this thought, isn't it? After we'd argued for the 100th time, isn't it meant to be this hard? Because in my household, it was that hard. In my household, there was yelling. In my household, there was a lot of arguing. In my household, there wasn't a lot of parents being affectionate to each other. There was a lot of yelling at each other. So your brain thinks that's what relationships look like. And your mind thinks it's normal to get in arguments and tell them how you feel. And this is how you've hurt me. It's not fucking normal. That's not normal. That's not a harmonious relationship. That's not what love looks like. And then you'll get in relationships like that because that's what's familiar. That's the lens you saw your childhood through. It's what you saw relationships as. And so you think that's normal. Darling, it's not normal to be constantly arguing. It's not normal to be getting in arguments. Not normal. And even though your parents did that, go to other people's houses. You'll see they're not necessarily doing that. That's not normal. So you shouldn't be doing that now as an adult, because that's actually not the way a harmonious, committed, loving, deep, caring relationship is meant to look. And unfortunately, when you grew up with that, you'll think that's what relationships are. I used to go to people's houses where they weren't, yelling and screaming and think, what's wrong with these people? There wasn't anything wrong with them. That's how it's meant to look. Okay? So I want you to reframe what relationships look like in your mind. Decide that they're meant to be harmonious and loving and affectionate. Imagine him with you like that, and work on your sense of self, of feeling like you're not enough as you are, darling. That you're going to be criticized for whatever it is you feel is not right with you, not good enough. Okay? Because if your dominant fear is fearing like you won't be chosen, he's not going to choose you until you fix that, darling. I am more than good enough. I'm perfect the way I am. I don't need to change. No one hurts me anymore. That's the old me. I used to be scared of getting hurt. I let their feelings come to me. I let them in. I trust that they're going to love me. I trust they're going to give me affection. They always give me love and time and affection. They want to be with me. I'm their favorite person. They prioritize me. They speak beautifully to me. We get along so well. Our relationship is so harmonious. I don't need to express my feelings every time I get triggered, because I don't get triggered anymore because they don't trigger me. There's no point expressing your triggers, guys. And most of you, when you tell me you're expressing a feeling, aren't really expressing a feeling. You're telling them what they're doing wrong. You're telling them all about your trigger. There's a difference between saying, why do you keep doing this to me? All I want is, or that hurt my feelings when you said this. It's very different than saying, I feel sad right now. That didn't feel nice. I'm going to go. There's no blame in saying that, but there's a lot of blame in telling them what they're doing wrong. Or telling them they hurt you. No, they didn't hurt you. You hurt your fucking self. Some of you really don't get that. And then you get in arguments. And then you wonder why it stays toxic, or why they go no contact, or why they ghost you, or why they don't want to be with you. Stop arguing, darling. Stop hurting yourself. Assume he's not going to hurt you. Assume he loves you. And really work on the I am good enough stuff, please. Okay? And don't tell me about the situation again, because it ain't information that I need. All right? I just need to know what you think of you. That's all you need to change, guys. And once you change that, they will change. So work on your self-concept. You're feeling good enough. Go and do the affirmations from the self-concept course for your main fear, okay? And then really step into the state of him loving you, prioritizing you, speaking beautifully to you, doting on you, being affectionate with you, and things will change. All right? Guys, if you want to ask Loz your question, ask me your question through my website and I will answer you with a video. There's also now Worthy AF for Love, my Manifesting Love course. If you want to deep dive into your triggers as to why you keep manifesting the kind of relationships you do, or why you're not manifesting your specific person back, or why you keep getting triggered in love, getting in arguments, not getting the relationship you crave, get the course now, guys, because it just came out on Valentine's Day, and already all the reviews are in from our members of our squad and my Facebook group telling me already how their relationships have changed, or their self-concept has changed, or their specific person is actually contacting them and changed already in their reality, simply because they changed their dominant thinking from the assessment in the course. Inside the course is my love mode assessment, and it deep dives into how you see yourself in love, how they turn up in love, and your triggers in love, and what you need to change. And once you change those, guys, I promise you everything will fucking change, because a lot of you don't even realize what your issues are in love, and what you even think of yourself in love, and why you're not manifesting your specific person, because you've been watching morons. You need to do my love mode assessment in the course, and then it gives you all the tools to fix what's happening with your love mode, because a lot of you don't even know what it is, okay? That's your self-concept in love, and that's what you need to change anything. So get Worthy AF for Love now on my website, or you can ask me an Ask Loz question, and I'll answer you the next week on YouTube. All right, bye guys.